Check, check. Can you hear me? Mic check, mic check. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. Welcome to the Miami Heat Beat show. Today we're going to be talking about pace. Heat are 0-2 on the preseason, looking to get healthy and try to see if they can capture a win. But it's all about the process right now. A lot of talk has been made about if this pace is realistic, if it's going to be sustainable, is it going to be something they stick with? And I think all the skepticism is warranted. I myself don't believe they're going to be this fast. They currently, I'm going to check their stats here to see where they currently rank after game 2 of preseason. But last season we all remember they ran and they tried to tell us this was going to be something they stuck with. He currently ranked 3rd in pace as of 2 games in pace. They ranked last year. They were 9th. So we've seen this before last year, but last year's the only one. The first time they actually did it in preseason, they hadn't been top 15 in preseason since 18-19. And that was one of the seasons they finished top 20 in pace. But I wanted to peel back a little bit, see what some of the plays. So first off, I pulled up a couple of plays, just some random game from last year, just to see some of their issues with pace. See, they're getting into their sets here with 16 seconds on the clock. Might not mean much to you. You might not think it's a big idea, but if you look up historically, the later you start an action, the lower your field goal percentage, your effective field goal percentage is going to end. This ends with free throws, but we saw so many possessions last year where it breaks down. They have to take a contested shot here. They go, Bam's got a mismatch, 7 seconds to go. All eyes on him. He forces a tough look, gets free throws, but that's not an overall good possession. Another possession here from last season. 16 on the clock. They get in, hold. Tyler misses a pass here. Forcing tough shots. Not great looks. And I think a lot of it could be, some of it's just execution. This is just one random game. Clippers are a good team. And the preseason, they are missing their guards. So this is all just from game 1. So take all of it with a grain of salt. We're all just trying to see what's sustainable and what can, what's not. All right. So here's for game 1, off a defensive rebound, quick hit ahead. That's what we're really looking for, is the hit aheads. The early offense on the hit aheads. We're looking for Jaime finding a leak, Wiggins leaking out. He gets one dribble, boom, balls up. A lot of these, you see, they're crossing half court with 21 seconds left. The Heat, laughably, were one of only 2 teams to get an 8-second violation last year. They were 7th in shot clock violations. They were 8th in frequency of very late clock, which is you're taking a shot with 4 seconds or less. 6th in late clock, which is 7 to 4 seconds. 21% of the time was in that bottom 2 tier. So more than a fifth of the time they were taking a shot at the very end of the clock, and that's consistently bad at offense for every team in the league. Nobody is consistently great at those shots. It's just the defense can lock in. You have less options. It's obviously a lot of reasons why it's going to be a bad shot. But you see here, quicker decisions. Nothing here. We're going to skip it. A lot of ball reversals. Penetrate. We got a great look inside. Didn't fall. Jaime's got to knock that layup down. But offensive rebound, we go right back into it. We're pushing aggressive. Step back. That's fine. Makeable shot for Wiggins. Jaime looking ahead. Pass. And Nico looks up. He would have had to give it right back. He kicks. Norman attacks the closeout. Gets to the basket. Another one. Defensive rebound. Bam's pushing this one himself. And you'll see a lot of these when Bam pushes early, Nico pushes early. What it forces is transition pickups. So Bane has to pick him up. He's a lot smaller than Bam. Gets fouled. Bam's had a tough preseason so far, but he's getting to the line. forcing the mismatches, getting to the line, hitting his free throws. You see this one. We get a stop. Or this, I think this might have been a make. Good defense, good help, good strip. Yeah. Wiggins, we got numbers. Powell tosses it up. I mean, that one's an obvious for pace. You just want to be aggressive early, force mismatches, force rotations. You don't want to get a set defense. Look, another one. Bam gets it early, gets the guard on him, gets fouled, gets to the line. These are things, little things. It's nothing crazy. Fontecchio, and they missed Ware early. That this one should have been a pass a little bit early when he was streaking. Fontecchio honestly should see this himself and give that right up. And Kashad needs to catch. That should have been right there. Lob. That little hesitation ends it and has to take a tough contested floater. But you see a lot of these. Like, and this is the second unit. Horrible shot. That was hilarious. But Drew, great job. Great pass. Fontecchio, great decision, great timing. Throws the lob up. Gets easy dunks. And this is a lot of the Heat's problems last year. They couldn't get those easy buckets. They relied so much on the half court. Their transition offense has been horrible the last two or three seasons. Thompson, and this one is an example of bad pace, of like, you got to be under control as well. And this is one of the young guys. I think this is Ethan Thompson is his name. He's pushing, but you don't just try to push the push. You have to get a good shot, make a good decision. You can't just turn the ball over here, pick us up a charge. Easy charge for Jace Richardson. Chat says, I do think it's going to be an adjustment period for the guys who have been here to play faster. Yeah, I do think so. I think a lot of these guys, especially the newer guys, Wiggins, Powell's one of the league leaders in transition points per game last season. I think he was top 5, I believe. So Fontecchio knows how to run. Jaime, I think we know Nico prefers to run, but I think some of the guys, we'll see more tape as it comes. But like Bam is a good outlet passer. Tyler's a really good outlet passer. Tyler likes to get a lot of those transition threes and leaking threes. So, take advantage of those. We will see how great they can do that. I think this is the easiest opportunity for them because they don't have much off half court juice. They got a stop here. Guy misses a bunny. Fontecchio, hit aheads. Powell, boom. Because rip to the basket. Nothing there. This one was a little funky possession, but I wanted to include it just to show that just the aggressiveness. They got to the basket. That doesn't happen often. Look, a little confusion. And this is something they ran a couple times where it was a little pin down screen on the side. Powell's coming up. Confusion. Lets Wiggins slip and get to the basket. Off of another defensive rebound. Fontecchio doesn't know how to run. Nico, aggressive, shoulder in, gets a layup right there. This was one of the possessions I was talking about. Nico got blocked by Paolo in transition. This one, nobody's stopping him. And one of the things I really love about attacking early, you get the defense on their heels. They don't get to be set. It's not just about mismatches. But even when they're set, they get the matchups you want. Bam's trailing, the big man's trailing there. There's no help at the rim. He bumps him, boom, 1-2 finish. Even on a make, we're grabbing and going. Reversals, quick shot. That's a little quick, but because it was so aggressive so early, boom, he has to overclose, gets fouled. A lot of good things have happened this game from just being aggressive. Live with the mistakes. Good hit ahead. This is the block right here. This one he has to be a little bit more under control, especially one-on-one, like pump fake that. Boom. But that's a great play by Paulo. And I love how it's not just on turnovers. They're running on stops, on makes. They're looking, yeah. Yeah, it could have been. It was tight. We'll live with the mistakes until Stowe starts benching fools. I think Spo's the one who has to live with it the most. See, like, just naturally your numbers are going to be inflated a little bit more. This is a great drive by Drew. And this is like where the confusion, like you got to match up. Drew gets a little brush screen, just being aggressive, and gets to the rim. Got to finish, of course. But this is a great shot right here. Great contest by Polo. Ware misses the putback. That's what we'll take. Like I think anybody who's had to watch this team for the last 3 seasons will just take this. Any reason we haven't seen the rookie? He's been hurt. Kasparis has been hurt, banged up since training camp. A lot of the guards have been banged up, not just Tyler from the injury. Here we go. I think this was a miss. Oh no, make. We're still looking. Yeah, and if you're paying attention to the shot clock consistently, 21, 22 on the clock. Ware aggressive. Not a great look, forced the issue a little bit, but he got to the basket. That's a makeable shot for him. Jaime, offensive rebounds galore. Like you notice these, gets 2 on him. That's a putback for Precious. He runs a little bit too far under the rim for that, but that's a great opportunity for them. They get back in transition. They're trying to run. They miss. Take a quick shot. We got it. This is where you do need a veteran, preferably a guard, to know, hey, we're a little out of control. They're out of control. We're out of control right now. Precious rushes, boom, gets stripped. He has to dive for it. Good hustle out of him. But yeah, you want a little bit of control. There's a thing coaches like to say, it's a little bit of controlled chaos in basketball. And when you're playing with pace, it's going to be a lot of running, a lot of quick decisions. And that's where, if you guys are playing too fast, like they were right there, you can run into some issues. And that's where Spo has to do some of his coaching. The staff has to do some of their coaching and get them to know when to push, when to peel it back, and make better decisions. Chad says, I feel like Nico's primed for a Laurie-esque breakout. Now he's not the same type of player as Laurie, but he has high-level starter potential. I think so. I've compared him to Hito Turkoglu. If you're not Cooper Flagg, you should probably know who that is. But he just that kind of ball handling. He had 9, 8, and 7 last game. That's the kind of numbers. Like I'm looking for like 15 and 7 out of him, which is a great numbers for a role player. Just be an essential glue guy on offense, make things happen. Hito Gallinari, I like that. Pressure switch, blocks at the rim. We're running again. And this one, Fontecchio takes by himself. Good finish. And you'll see it's just hit-aheads. It's nothing crazy. This isn't reinventing the wheel. Boom. This isn't only Nico doing it, which is one of the things that happened last preseason. That was like if the Nico wasn't in, they weren't really running as smooth as this. Fontecchio, again, pulls it back. He knows he doesn't have the numbers. Swings it, and they slow it down. They can run some offense here. Quick attack. Fontecchio relocates, gets a great look, doesn't fall. Offensive rebound. That's opportunities. The Heat were like bottom 10 in shot attempts too. Like that's why, because of their pace. But look, hit, boom. Like this is a great opportunity, great run fast break right there. They get the rebound, hit ahead, find the guy in the middle. Kashad running his lane wide, gets the lob. Nice reverse. This new offense actually suits Nico so well. Yeah, absolutely. I think you see a lot of it. So I'm going to go back to this play again. So you want them running on the lanes. What that means on the far side, streaking on the sidelines. You see the ball handler gets the outlet. Somebody runs middle. So you have numbers. You have a 3-on-2 because you're aggressive. And even Precious is running ahead. So you get more numbers. So number 18 makes a great decision. Hit ahead. So it turns from a 3-on-2 to a 2-on-1. Create more advantages. And that's what you want. You just have that space. Use your athleticism. Use the spacing. When they're fully healthy, they have more shooting available. And Tyler, Powell, Fontecchio, Nico, Kasparis, all these guys that can knock down the three. But for the other guys, run the floor hard, get rewarded like that. So I just wanted to pull up some stats and some pace plays here from the first game that shows, like, I think this is nothing crazy that they're doing. Is they're just emphasizing it. And we'll start it over again. Like, this is, like, if you look at all these plays, they're all 21 seconds cross cohort, 21 seconds, early action, early stuff. Like, if you've been listening to us, we've harped on how often they just struggle to get the ball up. And 16 seconds on the clock, they're running their first action. 12 seconds on the clock, running their first action. And that's for a team that relies on so much counters in their offense. Like, I should have pulled some more plays. I apologize, but like, they're trying to constantly attack, take advantage. Davion will help as well. Davion's a one-man fast break sometimes, but like, in their half court, they like to, attack the cut with cutters, attack with shooters, attack with movement off ball. The more time you have on the clock, the more time you have to make some of those adjustments, and make more cuts. You can't do death by 1,000 cuts if you only have 10 seconds left and there's not enough time to make some of those cuts. So it was just real quick. This is definitely better to catch with some videos. We'll post some clips tomorrow as well, but you see great potential for this offense. I'm really excited. I thought game 2, there was still a little bit more issues and stuff that you definitely see that there's still some kinks that they need to fix. They had high turnovers from Bam, high turnovers from Kalel, Kashad as well. But if they get this working, and like all accounts, they've been talking. Anthony Chang said that they were going to that they've been implementing in practice with 6 seconds or something to get the ball across, or it's a turnover. So prioritizing it really, and just getting out and running in transition. I love that, and working with a shot clock, a shorter shot clock to make sure they get shots up quicker. Would Tyler slow down this offense? Tyler has to adjust as well, but I don't think it should be a problem for him. It's just quicker decisions, quicker ball reversals, get the ball out of your hands. And that wasn't just a problem with him. Jimmy had that issue. Bam has that issue. So he's just got to adapt to it. And I think he's definitely got all the skills to do it. And with his shooting, it should be, he could really shine with this. I think it really helps. Where it helps the most, it's with Powell and Wiggins and Bam and Tyler, having guys who are volume scorers. They need shot attempts. If you run a slow offense, it's hard to get shots up. You think about it. Last season, the Heat averaged, let me see. In the regular season last year, the Heat averaged on about 87 shots a game. That was 6th fewest in the league. That's just because of pace. 87 shots. So you get Tyler 17 shots, Bam 15 shots, Wiggins 15 shots, Powell 15 shots. Like, where's the rest of those shots coming from? That's 45 shots, 60 shots from 4 players right there. And that's you're 27 shots for the rest of the team. Like, it's hard to rebound and do all the other jobs if you're only getting a couple shots. That's why, like, for example, for the Warriors, when they added Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson didn't have to take a back seat because they played fast. They played aggressive. They got extra possessions and they ran in transition. So that's how you create those opportunities, create those extra shot attempts that helps distribute the wealth. This is why I think Kalel will come off the bench. 2 bigs just won't be quick enough for this offense. If you have Davion coming off bench, he can also lead the second unit with the speed. I think Kalel will come off the bench as well, but I don't think it'll be a problem playing 2 bigs, because you can have both of them. One of them run the lane to the basket, the other one can space and trail, which it's very simple to do. One runs the lane towards the paint, looking for the seal and rebound or post up. You saw some of that in the Orlando game last year. where they really played, and they ran, and also in the San Antonio game where they played a lot, especially with Wemby, where they would get stops, run. One of them would run in transition. You can do it, but I agree. I think Kalel will come off the bench. We still haven't really seen it. Tyler's drooling at the thought of taking a 3 with 20 on the clock. He'll get those opportunities, but it's about getting good looks out of it. And I think what we've seen from this, they've gotten a lot of good looks. And I don't think any Heat fan is going to say this is one of the more offensively talented Heat teams. But I think this is going to unlock their potential, whatever their potential is, whether they're top 6 seed, whether they're battling in the play-in. Again, I think we can all agree that their offense has not been good enough. I think Spo recognizes that, and I appreciate him, trying something different, trying something new. And I think with all the youth, it's not just the youth, but it's also like the play styles, the slashing. Wiggins is not a Jimmy Butler ball handler where he's going to catch the ball in the post, and he did really good in the post for the Heat. But he's not a guy who's, creating mismatches, forcing help, and creating for others. He's a guy who's wants to slash, wants to take 1-2 dribbles, put up a shot. He's not really creating for other people. Powell's another guy who doesn't really create on the ball for other people. He likes to get his shots up. He cuts, he drives, he'll move the ball. He's not selfish or anything, but he's not a guy you're asking to, get you 8 assists and get others involved and stuff. He'll make the right play. But I think there's a lot of room for skepticism, and it's very warranted because we've seen them tease us, and we've seen them have a lack of backbone with these changes. So we saw it took one game before they stopped their full 5 out last season. So I think this season their potential as a unit could be maximized like this. I think they defensively have a lot to show. They have a lot of active bodies, and I think even some of the guys that haven't played, like Kasparis, I think Davion, we know what Davion brings to the table defensively, but I'm excited for Kasparis to get an opportunity. Drew looks, I think Drew's looks a little quicker offensively than he did, and his jumper looked a lot faster as well. I didn't get a clip of that shot, but his release in the first game from deep looks a lot faster and smoother. So excited for this team for once. I think there are some things to be happy about. Definitely some things that they need to work on. As chat, you guys mentioned the turnover that Bam had, where he just threw it to Nico, and Nico wasn't paying attention and went out of bounds. But yeah, that's just communication. They got. There was another play here where we showed where Bam hits Nico, and Nico runs and starts the break with no issue. It's not just primary transition; it's secondary, it's tertiary. It's not one thing. It's where you're trying to maximize the shot clock. I'll pull it up right here real quick on NBA.com/stats. You can see the shooting. You go to teams shooting. Teams tracking, and then sorry, I forgot this. I'm gonna share it here real quick. Dang it, I was just looking at this earlier. That's embarrassing. There we go. You go to teams, shot dashboard, and shot clock. And I'll share my screen. All right, so you see here, this is with 24-22 on the clock. You see everybody shoots really high. Effectively, everyone shoots really high. Even the worst team is 48%. The Heat shot really well early in the clock. These are mostly transition opportunities. You go to very early. Still very high. Heat were one of the best, running early, shooting early. Heat are top 10. We're top 10 in effective field goal percentage for early in the shot clock, very early in the shot clock. Now, they're about average when it's clock's around 18 to 15. But the percentages, you see, they're starting to go down more for most teams. For average, Heat right smack dab in the middle. Again, you see the percentages get really low here because you're up against the clock, more pressure. Heat right at the bottom. This is just effective field goal percentage, not in frequency. And then horrible against the clock. So I just think offensively, they'll have more opportunities to seek mismatches, seek some movement on their offense, get better looks, cleaner looks. I think that's the biggest thing. When you lack somebody like a Luka Doncic, a Nikola Jokic, a LeBron James, somebody who can get two to the ball consistently, and their passing opens up great looks for other players. They don't really have that. They have talented players, but they're missing that one table setter, playmaker that can make the game easier for everybody. So I think I agree with chat. I think this is better pod for the YouTube audience. I appreciate your patience with us, guys. We're bringing on a lot of new people, and we're excited for a lot of the changes that we're doing for Heat Beat this season. I just wanted to show a little video here, show some clips. I appreciate your questions, and go Aces. They're got a game tomorrow to go up 3-0. We know the Heat are rooting for the Aces. Chad's asking about some of the prospects for the draft. I've only seen some of Darren Peterson. I think Darren is his first name, but he's one of the top guards in the draft, and he is nasty. I do really like him. I've seen the Boozer, Darren Peterson. Yeah, he's going to Kansas. Cameron Boozer, he's nice. I've seen his game as well. I've seen Michael Brown, who's on Tankathon. He's projected to go 10 to Miami from Louisville. He was one of the best players on Team USA. He's nasty. So, keep an eye on them. The Heat own their pick. So whatever happens, they make the playoffs, they miss the playoffs, that pick is theirs. Barring any future trades or anything like that. But, if you have any other questions, chat, please let me know. Like I did this pod because somebody asked me to elaborate a little bit more on the benefits and pros and cons of the pace. So I think, you've seen that, like, when they're a little out of control, Spo will have to reel it in, and there will definitely be stretches where they're playing too fast. But I think reeling that back will be easier and better for the Heat in the long term than as opposed to completely ditching it. I think they don't have the bodies to really operate in the half court consistently, and the easiest method to do that is don't play in the half court. Don't play in the half court as often as you need to. Chat's asking about Brown. He's insane potential. His passing vision is elite. His athleticism is nasty too. He's very wiggly and fast, and he's really fun to watch. He's so skinny though. That's my big concern. He's like 175 listed and probably skinnier than that. But I had a lot of fun watching him, and he showed out. So we'll be talking prospects more. We're gonna be working on some draft beat coverage as well throughout the season. We're waiting on Lou. Can somebody at Lou, because he's already on vacation again. This guy just came back from vacation. And he's in my country and DR now, having a good time. What's wrong with this guy? We're supposed to be hard at work. Preseason has started. The Panthers play today. The Aces play tomorrow. The MLB playoffs are going on, and this motherfucker's vacationing in DR. Like, ¿qué le pasa a este? But chat, I appreciate y'all rocking with me, hanging out for a little quick pod here. Nice little quick and dirty 30 minutes. Appreciate y'all. Y'all have a great evening. We'll be back tomorrow to do some post game. Chat says regular season is Lou's off season. That's what it's all about, Lou. Good job. He's got it figured out. We'll be back for post game tomorrow. Heat take on the Spurs. Hoping to get some healthy bodies so we can see more of the pace and more of the Heat's new refined offense take shape and see how it goes from there. But y'all have a good evening.